There's the right hand wing root. Got it formed in there. I made a plywood pattern, made it from the outside first, set it out here, and made it to fit the arch of the wing and the bottom of the root, and then I turned it around and put it on the inside so I could make the cutout for those clusters that go across there. I used that for a pattern on the kydex and cut it about an inch, a little over an inch oversized, and then set it up in there and heated it and formed that top over the top. Now the bottom down here, I'm going to screw it into this former here, so I'm going to take it off and trim off this lower piece here. The front is pretty much around there. I still have to do some trim so I can finish bringing that up. And I stuck a half-inch dowel in there when I formed that. At first I formed it right around this this door post, or this main post here, and then I remembered to get a fuel line that goes up through there, so I went ahead and heated it up, put a dowel in there, and then redid it. There it is. I got it, a little tongue going back there past the where the baggage compartment headliner comes in, to kind of fair that in. And well, that right wing root cover is pretty much done. It's all trimmed up. I got the back side of it here. It snaps over that former pretty good. It's tight. I can get it on and off, and I've got it trimmed up down here on the lower section flush with this door header, and we'll just put some nut plates or something in there and put some screws in to hold that down, and a little trim back here on where it goes in that headliner back there, but it's not too bad. Oh, this front, it snaps over it. I had a heck of a time with this nose. I allowed too much extra on there, forming that around there, and it there's too much material, so it wrinkles, and it wound up cracking a little bit and stuff. But I kind of welded it up and fixed it up, so hopefully it'll do all right there. There's the interior panels for the front, for the pilot's foot area. See how the rudder cable guide there attaches. It looks a lot better when it's all closed in like that. The right side goes up quite a bit higher and is a little more finished looking than the left side. But the left side has a whole bunch of stuff in there that goes through fuel lines and electrical cables and engine controls and a whole bunch of stuff like that that needs that room behind it. We've got the left hand wing root panel just about done. Got it pretty well formed and shaped. Turned over the top up here around this top of this rib and around the nose, got it formed, and nice little channel here for the wiring and stuff to come into. And then we've got a little dog leg, a little joggle there to go around for the headliner, the baggage compartment headliner, and that's in there. Still need a little bit of trimming on some of that stuff. But now what I'm doing is bending over a flange here on the bottom of this rib, and this is the frame for the, or this is where the frame for the side window fits in. This is the front side window, and then the sliding main side window over here, and the channel for the glass or the plastic, the windows, fits in here in this little notch here, and so the panel here is got a flange bent over into that. That's what I'm working on now. Now, the right side didn't have that. The panel just came down, and it just even with the bottom of the top of the door channel, the door frame, and it'll be screwed into the door frame, the top of the door frame. But this one, there's nothing to screw it into here, and it just bends over, slides in there, and then that window frame, when it goes in there, that'll screw in and hold it in. So that's what I'm doing now, is bending that up. I've got the first piece of it bent in, and it went pretty good so far. And I've got a piece of wood clamped on there to kind of hold that panel tight against the framework here. And it also acts as a heat sink or a heat block to keep the heat from going down down that panel too much and distorting it. So it'll direct the heat against that panel, against that little flange, and we'll bend it over like that. I'm using the usual suspects here, the heat gun. Poor old heat gun's getting kind of tired. The motor on it is slowed way down, but it's still working. Oh, I've got my little ice pack here to use to cool everything off with to help it set up faster. It's something a little bit different today. I've got this little piece of plywood here, and I'm going to use it to help push that flange over and get that tight, because there's not much flange there. It's only 3/8 of an inch. So doing it with my fingers there winds up being too much area between the fingertip pressure, and you wind up getting little dimples or whatever in everything. So hopefully we'll see how this works, but hopefully this will help hold this down with, and then my fingers won't get so hot either. I'll hold the plastic down with this plywood until it starts to set up, and then put the ice pack on it to make sure it sets hard. Yeah, that'll be nice. That'll be good. The interior, the kydex is all cut out, formed. Everything's pretty much as it's going to be. We've still got a little bit of shaping and stuff to do and trimming here and there to do, but I got that left panel up, and I like the way that turned out. Turned out pretty good considering who did it. So I'll trim the tail off back here where it fares into that headliner, but get a nice bend there going up into that window opening, and well, yeah, there we go. Got the front panels all done. Need a little trim on this left side here, on the floorboard and flap handle pivot point there, but otherwise it's looking pretty good. I got to trim this one up and bend it into that window channel. We've got one more bend to make. Got the window set up there to bend that flange. I cut a piece of MDF to fit down in this channel between the two flanges, between the window flange and the flange that goes into the slider window. And I put another piece of MDF behind that one to help to clamp onto and to act as a heat buffer barrier for that. And I put another piece out here to support this edge. And I've got a little piece of just a strip of yellow cedar there to help block the heat from that inside window edge for that rear window. And I've got my block of plywood that I used before. It worked real good. That's well, that window looks better now. That flange has been over there, and we got it right tight in that window channel, or the window channel. So now if that window channel fits in there, we'll be fine. But that's it. Got a nice smooth radius here on the outside of it, on the cabin side of it, and then a sharp bend going into that channel. Anyway, it looks a lot better than it did with the big old flange hanging out there. So that's going to be pretty good. Got this header for the door frame all drilled out and set up with nut plates to use to hold the bottom of that wing root cover on with, and it's also going to have a door seal underneath that, so I need quite a bit of support for that to keep it from flaring out. So I've got it set up with number 4 Tinnerman nuts. They're all drilled and set in there, clecoed, ready to go. I did the usual with it. Once I drilled the holes out and countersunk them and everything and deburred them, I took a little model paintbrush and put some Rust-Oleum on them. So now I'm ready to start riveting, and I did a little test and I could get my hand rivet set in there, but I can't get it to get down on a rivet, so I'm going to have to do all this with the air gun. And even then it's going to be kind of a chore, because we've got to have the clecos on the outside here. These are short nut plates, and so the rivets are right next to the clecos, and there's not much room to get in there on them. I got enough room behind it to get bucking bar in there pretty good, easier than what I did with the top bar here, but it's going to be a challenge getting the mushroom head in there on these rivet heads.
Whoa, I missed. It jiggled off. What?
Try to hold it square.
I'm trying. Hold it. It's on that thing.
Well, I didn't put it on there.
I know. Okay. This one right here? And just on the edge or what?
What do you mean on the edge?
I can't
You gotta
get
get
it
it on the rivet head. Flat on the rivet. No, you gotta get it flat. That's not flat. You're getting it worse and worse all the time.
Look, tell me
Up
what's
like
flat.
that. It's flat.
Wait, it's not touching it. Alright, it's flat.
Alright, go ahead.
It's not working. Oh.
Alright, that's good.
You help me get it straight, and then I can help you.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. That's good. Yeah, that's good. Go ahead. That's good.
I did it in one shot.
You're okay. That's good. Alright. Cut plates are all installed there on that door header. Got those in yesterday. I've got to take these side panels out to trim them up. I've got that one all installed. I found all of the screw holes, the mounting holes and stuff in them, and got screws in them. I need to trim that up. I've got the right side pretty well trimmed out. I cut out the around the baggage compartment, trimmed it all up for the lower panel plus the upper panel, mated them together. I put some kick panels or brackets down there on the floorboards to keep the panels from moving around too much there, from flopping around down at the bottom, both front and in the middle here. The wing root, I got the screws all in it. It's all attached the way it goes. In the rear compartment back here, that's all done, nice. There's around the baggage compartment, it trimmed out around the baggage compartment door, and I trimmed that corner up a little bit where the two meet, where the top panel comes down over the bottom panel. Got number 6 screws with finish washers on them. They hold pretty good. They keep that pretty tight and they don't protrude any. Do the same thing all the way out to the front there, to the door. Now that's all one panel on the lower one, up right up to the front of the seat there in the door. And then there's a middle panel there underneath the door panel. That one is all trimmed out. They kind of meet right there. Put a couple of screws down there in the gonna focus. Put a couple of screws down there where the bulkhead under the trim piece underneath the seat goes, and of course it's screwed down to the floor. And then it goes forward. Well, that's it on that side, but the only thing I have left to do on that side is to fit in the map pocket there. And that goes in that forward panel. Both sides are fitted in now. There's the left side. You can't hardly tell because everything's black, but there's a joint right there. That's the end of the side panel and the beginning of the forward side panel. And then that side panel goes all the way back to the back here. And of course the side panel for the headliner is right there. And hard to tell, but I've got that trimmed out now so it matches up a little better with the lower headliner. And all the screws in. Everything's all trimmed up down there on the floor, and I put the braces or the stops in down there for the headliner so that it doesn't flop around down there. We've got it tied into this little shield here. Oh, this thing wind up being a little bit of flex right there, but that'll come out of it probably when we put the covers for the trim and the fuel selector valve in there. Front, both sides on the front. I went ahead and bent this flange here on this left side kick panel. That's where it mounts onto the firewall. I had it out, went ahead and just stuck it in the brake and bent it. I haven't bent the one on the other side, on the right side yet, but there's our little supports down there. And oh, and there's the right side panel. Oh, top's all in.